Welcome, everybody, to this week's Take Charge of Your Life discussion where we talk about how to live healthy, live empowered, and live free. My name's Tish Taylor. I'm from Growth Centric Living, and I'm an elite mentorship trainer and mindset trainer, and personal transformation guide. And this is my co host, Roberta.
Hey everyone, I am a holistic health practitioner and a personal transformation specialist also, and so focused and impassioned every day. I feel like more and more to help people heal in mind, body, and soul, and to not, stay where they're at because there's so much more life to live. So it's exciting for us to collaborate together to bring this to you.
Oh, well. As I said, we are both elite mentorship forum trainers. We're certified under our mentor, Mr. Peter Sage. If you are not familiar with him, he is a globally recognized motivational speaker known for his deep understanding of human behavior and self-mastery. So our plan in our discussions is to show you a little clip, a recording of one of his teachings, and then we're going to break it down for you and discuss it a little bit further into our format, which is we're going to give you a tip and some spots on how to live empowered in your mindset, how to live healthy in taking care of your physical body, and then also how to live free, which is our version of your soul wellness.
Yeah, so this week we are focusing on Peter's short little reel, and it's called The Relationship with Self. So I'll get that up here. Okay, I should have prepared this a teeny bit better.
There's been thousands of books written on how to have better relationships, but very few books written on how to have a better relationship with the one person that counts most in your life, and that is yourself. And the reason that that is the most important relationship is because the foundation of intimacy with other people rests on one golden rule, and that is this: nobody can ever actually love you more than you love yourself. Or if you want to drill down a little on that, somebody may love you a lot, but you won't be able to receive or feel the value of their love if it's limited by how little you love yourself. So what ways can you start really building a better relationship with yourself? What are 10 things you can write down about what you love when you see in the mirror? If you were to ask your best friend right now, what are some of my best qualities, what would they say? Start focusing your attention there. You'll improve your relationship with yourself, and then other relationships suddenly get better.
Such an important topic that we have here. I know both Roberta and I have experiences in trying to love ourselves better, because really what Peter is saying, this is like the golden rule, right? No one can love you more than you love yourself. So a lot of us out there searching for love in the world without really looking in the mirror. This is a good reminder that, we can't rise above our opinions of ourselves. So if you are not feeling lovable, then it's literally impossible for anyone else to love you. And you're stuck in this like loop of, trying to get something that you are shielding yourself against. So that leads us right into our first kind of component, which is on mindset. A really good reminder that everything starts inside. Okay, we can't find things on the outside if we don't start inside first. And so we need to start with believing that you are lovable. Believing that you care about and are worthy of love. And to quote one of Peter's mentors, actually, Mr. George Zelicki, we have two minds, a thinker and a prover mind. So whatever the thinker thinks, the prover proves. And I certainly have a lot of experiences of that in my life where, you're feeling down in the dumps and you're feeling like you're unworthy or you're disappointed in yourself for one reason or another. And then suddenly you're finding proof of why other people are disappointed in you. Just keeping that ball rolling. So in our mindset here, we want to really encourage you to switch that around in looking for the good.
Yeah, truly what we focus on, we get more of, and that works in every single area of our life. I guess what I think about when I think about the mindset of the, loving the self, like Peter said, the most important relationship, or the one that counts the most, is the relationship with myself. And having gone through about 7 years of codependency recovery work to which really is about loving the self. I mean, one of the terms for that in that work was self-love deficit disorder, was kind of a name that was somebody coined to kind of give us more clarity and essence on what it means to be codependent, meaning I don't know how to love myself, so I'm going to assign someone else that task in my life to do that. And so when that person goes away, or if that relationship ends, then I'm stuck without any tools or, awareness or ability to love myself. I mean, that's kind of the extreme depths of codependency or love addiction, but it's very powerful, and it's very, brutal to the psyche and to the physical body, as we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, so that became my task for many years, was to love the self. And what's interesting is that whatever happened in our childhood, or my childhood, I grew up in a decent home, but how I internalized things, made me see life a certain way, and that maybe I wasn't lovable because somebody was upset with me, throughout the day or whatever. I had lots of siblings, so somebody was always, there was up and down moods and behaviors all the time. And if I internalize that as not good enough, or I can't do anything right, or then I just really I was programmed to not think highly of myself and not love myself. And so I really had to take quite a journey to getting back to really seeing myself through the eyes of my creator and knowing that I'm valued and worthy regardless. And so, yeah, this has been a huge, huge part of my life. Probably the most critical part of my whole journey is to love the self.
Just want to take a minute to congratulate you on that and getting to where you are at. I've been on my own journey myself, and I know that it's not an easy one, especially when you're looking inside and working through all of those internal pieces. And I think that, part of society automatically trains us for that as a, hands up if you're a recovering people pleaser in the world. This is one of the things that I really associated with love, when people were happy with me, when I did what people wanted me to do, and then couldn't understand why I still didn't feel that much better, or heaven forbid they weren't excited with what I was doing. And I then was down about myself. So this huge swing on how I was feeling about myself based on other people and what I thought I was doing for them. And as a busy mom, I think we fall into this too, especially with our families, and end up sometimes stomping around being like, why is no one appreciating me? Like, I did this and I did this and I did this and I did this. And the problem is you're not appreciating yourself.
Yeah.
You're not loving on yourself because you're looking for it from everyone else. So of course you can't see anybody appreciating you in the first place. Everything starts with ourselves and with finding ways to love ourselves first.
Yeah, it's a little more challenging than we think. I mean, I've, different times in my life, I think, well, I love myself. I'm like, I don't hate myself. But when it came right down to it, especially being alone, living alone, and the last 4 years I've been living alone, and it's been the first time in my life that I've done this kind of inner work by myself with no one else around. So there is nobody else there to give love to me the way I used to think it had to come. And so being able to really drill down and sit with those quiet moments, with those feelings, with whatever that programming that needed to change, I had to restructure. And it's been the best thing I've ever done. But it's it's not an easy journey when we're conditioned to look outside of ourselves for that love.
Yeah, certainly when we find ourselves on our alone, then it is, the most obvious about the inner work that we have to do. But a lot of the times I feel like it's important what Peter said there too, in that, there might be people around you that do genuinely love you. Like I'm sure even in those moments, there were children and, family, friends, other people in your life that, felt love towards you, but you might not be able to see it because, or, truly feel the depth of their love and their, feelings for you because you don't have that feeling for yourself. So you can't recognize it. You've got your blinders on, and that is a fundamental sort of lesson in that it doesn't mean that other people are not loving on you just because you don't feel it. It means that you can't see it. You have blocks up.
Yeah, that we can't let it in. And so then we think it's not coming, but we've actually put up our own walls of defense. That's crazy powerful and so true. I think we can all relate to that.
So our tip to help you guys improve your mindset is right directly from Peter. We want you to take some time, write a minimum of 10 things that you love about yourself. If it helps, you can look in the mirror like he suggested, ask a friend, find 10 reasons why you're lovable. These could be anything. could be physical reasons, it could be personality traits, it could be actions you're willing to take, anything that is good and positive that will improve the way you feel about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and it may seem simple, but actually doing these written exercises, writing them down, you get to sit with the weight of it and reflecting it back to yourself and just feel the visceral reaction you feel. And it'll actually start deconstructing and deprogramming those automatic thoughts and beliefs just by, writing down 5 or 10 a day, and looking in the mirror and maybe saying those to yourself even and complimenting yourself. It's a powerful tool. It's very simple. It's kind of like looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. And some people just literally can't do it at the beginning, but eventually it just becomes super empowering when we look ourselves in the eye and are able to declare that. It really does shift our psyche and our psychology inside of us.
And you can find help for that actually while you're saying that. I was thinking of the like little reels of little kids, looking in the mirror and, especially little girls, we tend to, I don't know why we tend to be the hardest on ourselves as women. But I love myself. I am worthy. I am amazing. And we really need to do that more. It feels funny at first, but it's so good for our inner peace and our inner worth because we need to fill our own tanks.
Yeah, it's truly like loving our inner child by doing that and healing that inner child by doing those actual taking those actions and doing those exercises are powerful. So that leads us into our living healthy part of this. So we're our physical body, and like Tish and I were talking earlier, and she shared that loving ourselves is taking care of our physical bodies. And that is so, so true, especially from the angle of what I work with people. And I can tell when people are doing the physical work, but there's a lot of conflict in how they see themselves. Like maybe they're overweight and they don't like what they see. And so they just have this negative energy about themselves and, oh, nothing's working for me. And, well, I don't know, I guess I'll always have this, just that real not being able to align with the possibility of what the body can truly do to heal us because we have a negative self-image of ourselves. And so that spills over into, right, how we eat. We were just talking earlier about, emotionally eating when we're feeling alone and like we're not connected. At least for me, that's where my area of that I have to focus on and do more work on is to not be eating later at night because I just don't need to. I'm just not hungry, but I do it because I'm alone. And so we can numb out with food because that's common, it's acceptable. And it's just it's an epidemic really in our culture. If you see the health that people are achieving because of this kind of in a negative way because of this kind of lifestyle that we've created or that the world and the culture has created for us as far as the physical impact it's having on us.
I think there is a little bit more push towards self-care, but I know again, as a mom, I felt selfish in that sometimes. And that's really important to get over. Again, we need to love ourselves first. You can't, we'll talk a little bit more on the soul part, but you can't flow out of an empty tank.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting used to self-care, making that a regular routine in yourself. I heard a quote which really helped me recently about how, I am the human that I have been given to take care of for the rest of my life. Like I am the one that's going to be with me. So I have something to take care of. I can use all of those maternal instincts and the caretaker and the love that I am trying to give to everybody else on the outside. And I need to apply that to my own body, to my own physical self so that I don't feel guilty and I take joy in caring for myself the way I would for, one of my children, the way I would want them to take care of their bodies. I need to be able to do that for myself as well.
Yeah, and because, with this framework we use of mind, body, and soul, it's really hard to love our whole self if we're not loving the physical dynamic and doing what's best for our physical body. That's a clear, directing factor that we're not loving the self because our body, I say our cells hear everything we think. So that, how we see ourselves mentally also affects our physical health, not just what we put into our body or what we do physically to it, but how we think affects our healing process. We can heal ourselves with the right mindset. Even laughter, we talked about in some other discussions, right? Laughter can help us heal. So truly getting into a space of self-love and loving our world or being grateful for what we have in our space or around us or the people around us, all of that contributes to our physical health. Because the contrary to that would be being stressed all the time because we don't like what's around us and we're complaining all the time and all that negative energy absolutely takes a physical toll on our mental health too, and our physical health. And I guess the tip that we have for that is just, waking up to the needs of the body and making those choices to take action, and just, recognizing that if we don't take care of our physical health, we just literally can't truly say that we love ourselves, because this body is supposed to carry us for like 100 years. And if we want to live vibrant and experience life and take adventures and be there for our grandchildren, there's things that, taking care of our physical body it's a huge expression of self-love.
Great. 100 years at least. There's so much to experience. I don't even know if I can do it in 100 years.
True.
All right. That leads us into our last component, which is, living free, where we talk about like our soul's journey, all encompassing. This really is unconditional love. We are all love. We started with love. We mostly were created for love, regardless of what your physical circumstances might have been. And, we return to love. I truly believe that as our soul kind of passes, there's a lot of religious basis and faith-based teachings that kind of talk about this. This is one area where I 100% agree that, you are worthy. You need to believe that wholeheartedly. And source energy, the universe, all of these higher powers, they already love you just because you are. And they're just waiting for you to also feel the same. And once you get onto that path, you can start giving to others, because like we said, and Peter said, until you love yourself, you cannot move past that. You can't see it or give it to others otherwise. Unfortunately, some people try to give love in order to get love back, and that doesn't work. Love isn't a business deal. You can't have expectations on love. Unconditional love really means exactly that. There are no conditions. You just love on yourself and others.
Yeah, and I think of one of the mantras I used to use is when I love myself, nobody else can tell me any different. Nobody can define the love I have for myself. That's mine and mine alone. And if I truly love myself, I won't have maybe that sadness or that limited feeling of, oh, there's nobody to hang out with, or there's nobody that wants to be with me or whatever. If I love myself, as I just went on a vacation, kind of as a celebration of my really leaning into this space of loving the self and being okay being alone and traveling alone and making it just a total dynamic, fun experience. And, and I realized after all these years of working on this that I can enjoy life and love myself enough that I don't need someone else around me to have life or experience life or go on vacation or anything. I can, wherever I'm present and loving myself, I feel amazing, and so that's really what the goal of where I want to be and where I want to live my life really is, in that space of that's really who I was designed to be, was love, like she said, like Tish said. So yeah, it's exciting to make progress in that area, from considering where I came from. And when I used to have self-loathing was a huge part of my life for many years when I was younger. So
it's empowering, and there's like a strength to it. I can hear it when you're telling your story, and I definitely have lived it, for myself, in the, being confident in, giving yourself that grace, that, loving yourself doesn't mean you never make mistakes. It just means that, oh, this is who I am, and I am perfectly imperfect. I think Pink has a song about that, in just being the person that you are, perfectly worthy of unconditional love, just the way you are, and being the first person to ultimately give it to yourself. Nobody has to earn it. You don't have to deal it away or expect it back. You just fill up your own cup and then flow it easily and effortlessly out to the rest of the world. That's ultimately what I really do believe is part of our goal here on Earth, and part of how we become more of a community.
Yeah, that's a beautiful share. Thank you. So our tip for this section that we wanted to share is giving you a meditation link by Peter, and it's a self-love meditation. And what is it, like 15 minutes? I think it was 15 minutes. So it's just some great reflection. And I know, I guess I feel, or at least from my experience, this is not an easy journey. I think everything that I was taught and everything we see on TV and through every kind of social media is really trying to pull us away from self-love unconsciously. Thinking we need more stuff, we need more people, we need more likes, we need more approval, we need more money, we need something else all the time in order to be lovable or to feel love, and it's a huge decision to make, to say, I want to take this journey to love the self. It's definitely not easy. And yeah, we hope this meditation will give you some inspiration and just some clarity and some depth into that journey, and maybe you'll want to take that journey yourself in more ways than you have.
Yeah, it's really about reprogramming yourself, like we sort of keep talking about, and the people's ability to love on themselves really seems to be a pandemic these days. Like there is, so many people out there that just like breaks your heart in how they think of themselves. So when we offer you this meditation, we really want to encourage you to start the reprogramming, and I would encourage you. It's 15 minutes and set this as your self-care routine. Listen to it, I'd recommend, for a minimum of 30 days. And, we'd love to hear some of your feedback on how you feel afterwards, after you just sat there with yourself, you looked in the mirror, you told yourself, your 10 things that why you're awesome, did a little self-care meditation. And, how do you feel in 30 days from now? That would be amazing if we could get some feedback on that as well. But we're rooting for you guys out there.
Yeah. Yeah, and really taking this journey is the most definitive, most impactful legacy that we could actually leave for our children too, is, knowing that we were empowered and, strong in ourselves. And we weren't, even with our kids, we can, kind of be manipulative and guilt them and have expectations, like you have to show up for the holiday, or, oh no, I'll be alone if you don't show up, or whatever, we could say. I've really practiced that, not doing that. And so, we just are very open to last minute we'll get together or we don't. Nobody really cares. Like we don't have any expectations, and it's just so freeing to not put that need for love on my children. Like that's codependency to me. Nobody owes me love. It should be given freely if they want to give it. And so it's really nice to not have that urge, I guess, to want to pull love out of people to fill my cup. It's so much better when I can just give it and just be at peace. If it doesn't, if nothing shows up, it's okay, because my cup is pretty full right now. So I guess we just want to invite you and, to think about what the cost is of not loving yourself, and how, like I said, how that's impacting your life and your kids' life. And the work that we do with our personal transformation is that we guide you down a path where you can walk that journey to a different life on the other side. And so we just want to, again, as always, invite you to connect with us through our links that are going to be with this video. And yeah, we love sharing these inspirations with you, and we hope they're really, something that you enjoy. And we'd love to have you here and taking that time.
Yeah, and our consultations are free. They're a minimum of a half an hour. Even if you just want to talk through some of this stuff, if you've seen any of our discussions and you just want to reach out and have a discussion, there's no obligation. We certainly do have more tools to assist you in this if you're ready, but only if you're ready. So in the meantime, please feel free to reach out. We're here for you.
Yes, thank you so much. And again, thank you for your time, and we'll see you in the next discussion.
Well, wait, do we have a quote first?
We do. Sorry, I forgot about that. The quote is, "Be a master of loving yourself and people will follow."
Excellent. I love that. Thank you very much. We'll see you next discussion.